Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
And I am Tayo Salam. Thank you for joining us again.
All right, on the program this morning, Austin Eguavoen, that's the coach, the interim coach of the Super Eagles. He's having sleepless nights, but he believes that the Eagles will not struggle at the Nations Cup.
We'll see about that. Fingers crossed. Nigeria's first match is going to be on January the 11th against the Pharaohs of Egypt. That's a very, very tough game to start the competition. Also on the program, still talking football, where Manchester United needed Edison Cavani off the bench to rescue a point against second to the bottom Newcastle United.
It was a nervy one for United. Could have been a loss. Anyway.
Could have been, yeah.
Yeah. Also on the program, when you know that Ja Morant is with the ball and it's few seconds to go, he'll always get the buckets. And that's how he was able to dim the Suns, the shine of the Suns on the night. That game ended 114-130 against the Memphis Grizzlies, having the upper hand. It was just that layup with 0.5 seconds left
Cecilia.
That gave them. He got the ball and he got the bucket.
What a game, Cecilia. What an ending. Wild, wild ending to the matchup between the Suns and the Grizzlies. Like I said, the Suns was shining and it was looking like a victory. Then in about 0.5 seconds left, Ja Morant comes up big with the layup to secure a 1-point victory for Memphis.
How painful can that be for
Very painful, trust me,
especially after losing to the Golden State Warriors. And then Grizzlies are coming and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get this back on track. But somehow, Morant said no. Yes, we're starting up with the NBA this morning, of course, running through all the 6 games that were played early hours of today. Yeah,
fantastic games that went down this morning. We're going to start with the Rockets and the Charlotte Hornets. Ended 123-99 in favor of Charlotte. It was all about Terry Rozier in that game. 27 points, including 7 3-pointers. Elsewhere, the Chicago Bulls defeated the Atlanta Hawks 130-118.
All right.
To 118. DeMar DeRozan scoring 35 points, while Zach LaVine scored 30 points in that victory for Chicago. It's their 4th straight win. So the Bulls are back to being a very, very good side after the issues with COVID-19 health and safety protocols. The Celtics lost by 5 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The T-Wolves are snapping a 2-game losing streak. Fantastic victory there for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Spurs were in action against the Jazz. That's Utah Jazz. 110-104. That's how it ended in favor of Utah. Jordan Clarkson and Rudy Gobert leading the way for the Jazz in that victory.
Playing without Donovan Mitchell.
Exactly.
San Antonio Spurs has been perfect, but somehow after those big wins they had against the Lakers and the one they had yesterday, about 144 points, and then the highest so far this season.
Yeah, they were smashing.
They're smashing every team. But getting to Utah Jazz, of course, they're on a winning run. They couldn't just end that streak.
Fantastic victory for Utah. Our matchup game of the show was between the Grizzlies and the Suns. Like I said, 1 point, and that's all they needed to win that game, courtesy of Ja Morant. We'll come back to that game shortly. In other games, the Blazers lost against the Dallas Mavericks 132-117. Kristaps Porzingis was the star of the show, 34 points and 9 rebounds. And last but not the least, the Nets and the Clippers. It was Brooklyn prevailing 124-108, courtesy of a dominance, a sensational performance from the Beard, James Harden, 39 points and a season best 15 assists.
Great one for him. He was shooting 15 of 25 from the field. He got 8 rebounds also and 2 steals. That's awesome. Dominating, no KD, no problem.
Are you happy now?
I'm so happy. This is what I want from James Harden. And I got that.
Fair enough. Yeah, the Beard is looking
remember
really
on
good.
Christmas Day, yes, they may have lost, but then he got back with 36 points. He had a triple-double. So, great one for him.
For the Beard?
For the Beard.
And the Nets.
That's
the one against
the Lakers.
Yeah, the one.
So,
come
against
on.
the Lakers,
Beard
yes,
is back,
the one.
Cecilia. Show him some love. Anyways, so that's it for the results of the games in the NBA. Let's now focus on the incredible matchup between the Suns and the Grizzlies. Cecilia, what can you say about this game? Ja Morant scoring in the final second to get a 114 to 113 victory for the Memphis Grizzlies in that game. It looked like the Suns were going to win it after Devin Booker made a shot with just about 5 seconds to go, and you thought, yeah, that's it.
And you know, they actually rallied from 18-point deficit. So you're thinking, at first I thought they were going to lose the game, and then they came back. But at the end of the day, you know, when you have the ball, there's some players who just have that confidence that, look, I can shoot from anywhere, I can make this bucket. And that was what Ja Morant did. I thought it's only Trae Young that can do that kind of stuff, that can pull it off. But somehow he was able to do it the night. Just look at what it meant to all the teammates, everyone coming around. But then we know that the Phoenix Suns are struggling because most of their starters, DeAndre Ayton is not there, Jack Crowder is not there. Of course, even coach Monty Williams also, and they're all on the COVID-19 protocol list. So at the end of the day, I think they took advantage, you know, of that, you know, leading by that 18-point deficit. But if Grizzlies had lost this game, maybe they could have been really shamed, because you can't be leading like that and not having most of their defensive players around, and then you lose to the Suns. But somehow they were able to just come. Yes, I know the Suns are perfect, but when they are not at their full strength, you just take advantage of it and get that victory. And for long periods, they were dominating the game. That's the Grizzlies. So it was a bit surprising to see the Suns make that comeback. That shows you how good the Suns are, and that's why a lot of people think they will be contenders for the championship. But like you said, Memphis had one more opportunity to get the victory, and this guy delivered with a layup with just 0.5 seconds left. And he finished with 33 points. 33 points on the night as well. It's a fantastic performance coming from Ja Morant, as well as Desmond Bain as well. So let's not forget his backcourt teammates. We're going to get to listen to both players right about now.
I mean, I think it was a good road trip, you know, to begin with. I mean, I think it was a good road trip. You know, we go into Golden State, lose a close one. Curry obviously does Curry things, and Gary Payton has a career night, and we fall a little short, and then go handle business in Sacramento and come here and get a good win here in Phoenix. You know, as far as me and Ja, you know, I feel like we got good chemistry. You know, last year we didn't really have that chemistry. You know, we were new to playing with each other, but now, you know, we kind of understand each other's games, and, you know, it's fun for sure.
It was Ja go get a bucket. That's what I did. You know, I like being in those pressure situations. You know, I like, you know, taking on that challenge of being the guy, you know, to take that shot. You know, I delivered tonight. It's a big time win for us, you know, against a great team.
Yes, big-time win to Celia against a big-time side as well. And those two players, remember this performance, of course, and Desmond and Ja, they're starting to really click. Unlike last season, of course, it was still a new situation for both players. Desmond, a rookie now, as a sophomore, has you know, a bit of experience under his belt now, and we've seen through this run, even when Ja was out for a long time, he carried them. Desmond carried the team. He carried them. Even when Dylan Brooks went out as well, so Desmond was always stepping up. So it's good to see these two young players, you know, leading the way for Memphis side. Not a lot of people gave you know, a chance to be contenders in the West. To see them doing a lot better than teams like your team or the Lakers. Come on. Are you rubbing it in? I'm not rubbing it. So, anyways, let's get a post-match also coming from the camp of the Suns. Yes, the Suns. Okay, I just saw top performance. Desmond. Oh yeah, let's take post from the Suns before we get to this. Before we get to the top performer, let's listen to the standing coach of the Phoenix Suns reacting to that very disappointing manner in which they lost the game. Yeah, that's Kevin Young there trying to explain what really happened to the Suns. They had it, but then somehow it just wasn't to be, because Ja Morant, whenever he's got the ball, he gets a bucket. That's what he did. Yeah, got the bucket. And you have to give credit to very interesting to hear the coach give credit to Ja. Like, there's nothing they could do about that situation, because the guy is just that good. He's a standing coach anyway. All right, let's look at the top performers now. We already saw one of those top performers, Desmond Bain. I mean, he was really spectacular, hitting 6 of 11 from 3-point range. Career high. And of course, 32. Career high, 32 on the night. Indeed. Fantastic player. Let's move on to the next guy quickly, and that's DeMar DeRozan of the Chicago Bulls. What a season DeMar is having. 35, 5, and 10. No one thought it would be this good for the Chicago Bulls when they acquired him from the San Antonio Spurs. Let's move on to our next guy who stood out as well. This time around is Devin Booker, 32 and 4. Not enough for the Suns in the loss against the Memphis Grizzlies. He thought he actually won the game for them with 5 seconds left, but it wasn't meant to be. Let's move on to Kristaps Porzingis of the Dallas Mavericks, 34, 9 and 5 for Dallas in their victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. And last but not the least, James Harden, the Beard, 39, 9 and 15 assists for the Nets. All right,
spectacular performance.
Spectacular indeed.
We're leaving the NBA now, and of course, something happened last night which has to do with the Globe Soccer Award. Tayo, you're smiling. You know what? Why Tayo is smiling? You can enjoy the highlights coming from there. Of course, you know the winners already: Lewandowski, Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, and even someone that you can't even. I don't know how many people are still talking about him. Ronaldinho was also part of the award winners.
Sights and sounds are coming from the Globe Football Awards, and you got to see all of the incredible winners. It's always good to see players get rewarded after fantastic seasons for their various clubs and countries. We're not three in the studio. That's because Ayobami Bashe is going to be making his debut on Channel Sport this morning. Ayobami, good morning. It's great to have you on the show finally.
Good morning, Tayo. Good morning, Cecilia. It's good to be here. You know, I've always looked forward to this moment, and it's finally here, so I'm happy to be here.
I know. Should be a good debut for you, right?
Yeah. Hopefully. A lot of things happened last night and over the weekend. Hopefully, it's a good debut for me. Thank you.
Let's see about starting with these awards. Could you see your thoughts in 5 seconds?
Well,
deserved winners.
Deserved winners, no doubt about that. But also, you know, behind the scene, we're talking about, you know, a certain award that was created for a player. But I just feel, you know, they want the glamour. When you have Cristiano Ronaldo there, you know, it brings his fans over a lot of Instagram followers. So the eyeballs. Once he makes a post about that certain award, you know, it's going to go viral. And I think, you know, what these award organizers are also trying to do is, you know, they're trying to build a kind of, you know, a certain degree for them whereby, you know, they try to overthrow, you know, the Ballon d'Or. You know, so I think the Globe Award, they're certainly doing good, and it's a good one. And the winners, for me, they all deserve it.
Indeed,
what I was happy about was just Ronaldinho. I mean, I've been wanting him to get back. It's good to actually see him, you know, looking good and all dressed up, you know, receiving that career award, world celebrated. Yeah, not precisely. That's the last, I didn't want to talk about that. That's the last picture. There's actually, you know, there's a mental picture that's in my brain. You know, the last time I saw him was in a handcuff from the airport. I'm like, come on, this guy is a legend. He's an icon. And then having seen him like that was really not good. But seeing him here, you know, on the picture in Dubai, you know, receiving that career award is actually a great one for me. So that's what I'm taking away from it.
I think not only you, because, you know, anytime any day Ronaldinho is a legend, and we respect him so much, you know, aside all the things he had off the pitch, you know, and I won't really say he's a Brazilian team, but at the same time, you know, there's this party lifestyle that is in him, and you can't just shake your nature, but hopefully, you know, he has people around him, families who watch him, you know, try to guide him, and hopefully we'll see him back in football. He can just, you know, start with academy, you know, coaching and those kind of things, because anytime, any day, Ronaldinho is football. When you see Ronaldinho, you know you're looking at football straight away. So we hope that brand will stick to him and not the other brand, which, you know, we don't like for him.
I like that angle. Like, you'd like to see Ronaldinho obviously still has a lot to give football, obviously not as a player. So we'll see about that in the nearest future, Cecilia.
All right, we need to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be listening to those who won the awards on the night, from Cristiano Ronaldo to Lewandowski and, of course, Kylian Mbappe.
I have to say that I want to say thank you, fans who vote for me and who support me every single day, because that means a lot. Even the last 2 years, but playing without the fans, months in Germany, we play without the fans. It's so difficult and so big challenge for us. It doesn't mean to playing with the fans, but it's something special. That's why we are playing. That's why we are trying so hard to playing on the with so many people. And the last month was so hard for us, but even that...
All right, apologies for that. As Lewandowski receiving his award and talking about how gracious and how grateful he is to get 2 awards, Diego Maradona Award for winner for top goal scorer, and also, of course, you know, another one named TikTok Fans Player of the Year. I believe this one is coming because everyone wanted him to win the Ballon d'Or, but then he went to Lionel Messi. Okay. Maybe that's the reason they're having a different one for him. So he's got 2 awards going home with 2 giant big trophies. So that's a good one, you know, for Lewandowski.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure about that, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Ayobami. So Lewandowski is won the Maradona Best Goal Scorer Award, yeah, we know. But the Men's Player of the Year went to Kylian Mbappe. How do you reconcile those two? Kylian Mbappe and Lewandowski?
It's a tough choice.
Yeah.
It's certainly a tough one. And anytime, any day, you know, Mbappe is a talent. He's growing up. He's improving every day, day by day. And it's only a matter of time before he makes his dream move to Real Madrid. But also coming back to Lewandowski, I think the TikTok Fans Player of the Year award, he does a lot of videos with his partner. So I think maybe that was one of the reasons they also gave him the award also. But all in all, I think last year was Lewandowski's year.
It's got surely.
He had to, even the other award, you know, everyone still says, you know, he should have won it.
Exactly.
Because the goals were there, the assists were there. It was firing from all cylinders, you know, for Bayern Munich. But maybe for the national team, it wasn't really, you know, the Polish national team didn't really perform. Maybe that was why it wasn't, you know, giving those you know, the big awards. But
which is understandable.
Which is understandable.
Is not expected to really challenge for the big trophies.
So, but the award was a fantastic one. You know, he got the award. You know, he was awarded. He was recognized, and I think that's what really matters more for these players. A lot of them, you know, it's not only about, you know, just getting there. It was about the recognition, people appreciating your effort you put in day and night, because behind the scenes, these players put in a lot of hard work.
Indeed, Cecilia, because I was going to say he lost out to Messi and the Ballon d'Or. Now he's losing out to Mbappe in the global world. It just, I can understand Messi.
Mbappe won Ligon, and also won what again?
Did he even win Ligon?
Lille won Ligon. Lille won the Ligon, true?
No, PSG.
PSG.
No, they snatched it.
No, the last one was by Lille. You know, the last one, Lille won the Ligue 1.
Exactly, so not even PSG.
So what we saying? Who won? And of course, you have Italy winning the Euros.
So now you're even buttressing my point the more.
You know,
Lille won Ligue 1, right?
We're going to leave this globe soccer award for now.
It's got a lot of goals, though. I mean, Mbappe, but surely should have been
Lewandowski, right? So you're saying the Dubai Globe Soccer Awards and Ballon d'Or.
I think they practically did the same thing to him, and I think I will say Lewandowski is a better person than
So now we can now justify that Lionel Messi deserves Ballon d'Or. First stop. So let's talk about the Nations Cup. It's 12 days to go. The African Cup of Nations in Cameroon in 2022, 2021 in 2022. And today we'll be looking at 2 teams. Yes, one is making their debut. Gambia is making a debut. And the other team, Mali, they've always been here. But how many times have they won it? Well, I guess it's as good as mine. Okay, now let's start with Gambia. Of course, they're called the Scorpions. So Gambia is ranked 150th in the world, and they're also making their debut at the Nations Cup, and their debut will be in Cameroon. And of course, the next one we'll be looking at will be Mali. Okay, Mali, of course, they're called the Eagles. There's no super in it. So you have just one super Eagles, while the others can take all the Eagles, but you have just one super, which is the Nigerian national team. They're called the Eagles. They're ranked 53rd in the world, and Mali has featured 12 times. Their best outing was in 1972, and they finished second, runner-up in that particular outing. That's for Mali and for Gambia. Now, there's a lot of stories coming when it comes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Preparations on top here. We already have the 28-man finalists. The good thing is because of COVID, you're allowed to go with 28 players instead of the usual 23. And, of course, Coach Austin Agwaven just had to release everyone, the list at once. So now he's been talking about what he had to go through to be able to come up with a list. And the fact that he's given the job impromptu. He wasn't prepared for it. Yes, he's the technical director of Nigerian Football Federation, but then when you're given a big job like that, and then you have some few days to go, it's different.
For a major competition,
that's
different.
Yeah. So let's listen to him now, you know, talking about the fact that the time is really short, and he hopes that maybe they can play 1 or 2 friendlies before they head on to AFCON.
Okay.
Egypt, I think the 7 times winner, if I'm not mistaken, is a team I've played against, is a team I have coached against at junior level as well. We know what it can bring to the table. It's not a team, it's not a pushover. Mind you, everything that I've qualified for the AFCON is not a pushover. So we are going to do everything possible to see how we can actually analyze them individually and collectively and map out a strategy. And that's what you should expect from them to do as well. Because Nigeria is a big name, it's a big country in terms of football. And other teams will also be planning. Yes, we are doing that. We'll continue to do that until we find a solution on how we can take care of them. The opponents determines how you set up your team. So different approach against Egypt, different approach against Sudan, different approach against Guinea-Bissau as well. But when the time comes, you'll see all of that. And mind you, it's not a one-man show. I've got people around me. We have to tap from also. We have to try to sit down and talk things through and come up with one agreement or a decision. Of course, and I have the final say. I would say I don't sleep well because of expectations, but I know not everybody, how do I put it now? There are people out there who want us to succeed. There are a few people out there who are also in doubt, but we will do everything humanly possible. Stick together. When I say the team, the entire federation and the players, of course, officials, and so we will do what we can and make sure we put some smiles in the face of Nigerians. But having said that, African Cup of Nations is not a small tournament. It's a major tournament, and Nigeria is ranked very high when it comes to football. So expectations are high. I think with what we have on ground and the support of everyone, especially the Federation and of course the ministry, I think we will do well.
Once the support is there, the fans are standing behind, cheering the team. Of course, the Super Eagles will do well. Maybe all the sleepless nights he's having will obviously not be in vain when Nigeria go to Cameroon for the Nations Cup, and also maybe finish second or winning it, because the last time was third. So a silver and a gold will be better for all of us.
Hopefully, I hope so. It will be better, and we wish him all the best. You should know that a lot of Nigerians are behind him. Definitely want him to succeed, and the NFF also want him to succeed. It's not going to be an easy job. It's not just something whereby you go to African Cup of Nations and be the likes of Gambia. Maybe even if they are making their first appearance, African football anytime, any day, we know it's tough. It's fast and it's energetic. So the team has to come together. We know, that. Well, this is a new interim manager, but at the same time, the boys have been together since the qualifiers, since the African qualifiers, since the World Cup qualifiers. So we wish them all the best, and we'll be hoping, they go far in the tournament, because we know Nigerians, if we don't go far, if we go out of the group stage, Nigerians will be hungry, definitely about that, because anytime any day, Nigeria is a footballing nation. We love football, and we wish the Super Eagles all the best. And now he has gotten a 28-man list rather than the 23 due to COVID. So I think that's a good advantage for him also. And someone like Osimhen also now, we're hearing that he's fit and he will play in AFCON. He even tweeted that himself, and it's good, because I was already, I was kind of sad that I wasn't going to play in AFCON, but now he's going to be in the AFCON, and we have other players who are,
Wait, are you one of those who thinking if Osimhen is not there, Nigeria won't perform at AFCON?
It's not like I'm one of those, but if you're looking at Nigeria #1 striker in Europe, it's definitely Osimhen. For a player to play for someone like Napoli, it's definitely good enough, and I think he should be our #1 striker anytime, any day for the Super Eagles. But I'm not the coach, I'm not the manager. That is the job of Esther Guevara, and right now I don't wish to be him.
Yeah, because he mentioned something. He talked about, not having enough time, and the time is really short for the team. The camp opens tomorrow, 29th, and just imagine how many days to the Nations Cup, starting 12 days to the Nations Cup. So they're going to open camp like 11 days, and of course they have to be in Cameroon a few days before that time, and they won't even have friendly. Maybe the first big game they will have to play to be together will just be the opening match. So that's more like going to be their warm-up, and it's going to be against the Pharaohs of Egypt.
Oh my. Not even that alone. A lot of clubs in Europe are not still ready to release their players, because I was reading an article whereby, you know, so many clubs in Europe are planning to go to court to stop some of their players from going to the AFCON. So they're still, you know, not talking about the flight before they fly down to, you know, to training camp, before the clubs release them. It's not going to be easy, but we hope, you know, they come together, they work things out, you know, the players come in. But we'll be supporting them anytime they need. Super Eagles of Nigeria, we hope they go far. The last time was the third, and I think the last time we won it was under the late Stevie Keshi, God bless his memory, and it was definitely a happy memory for every one of us, because I remember I was in university, and hopefully we have that joy as Nigerians also, because I know if we win it, we're definitely flying the flag of Nigeria.
All right, Austin Egwabwan is still talking. He's had a lot to say, right?
Yeah, a whole lot to say concerning AFCON. Of course, this time he's talking about the opponents. Egypt, Sudan are in Nigeria's group. What can he do to ensure that Nigeria get out from their group? Maybe just finish top, so your next opponent at knockout stage won't be a very strong side. That's what every coach really aspires to do. Well, let's hear him talking about the Egyptian national team and the other teams that he'll be facing in AFCON.
I think this team is ready to compete anytime, any day, if called upon. And yes, the time, it's quite short. We all know that. Because every coach has his own leadership style, his own philosophy. And with the quality of players that we have, I don't think we'll struggle. But the only thing is, there won't be time for any friendlies. You know, that's when you actually assess your team, if they can actually do what you want or what the technical crew wants. Because I don't like to use the word "I" because it's you know, it's a team. So if it was time to play at least 2 or 3 friendly games, and then telling me how you want them to operate in departments, individually and collectively in lines, then I would say yes. But be that as it may, we just have to do what we have to do. Maybe in training sections, we can now tell them how we want them to play and guide them. There will be out there, maybe here, maybe out there, but it's not going to be as competitive as you want it, because you don't want to play the strongest team right now. Because of, when I say strong team, teams who can bully you, because you have to be also wary of injuries as well. So it's just like a rehearsal to see what you've done in training to put into perfection. You know, if it was that time that you have FIFA windows, you know, you can go for it 100%, regardless of what, because you know you still have time in the tournament. But tournament starts only in January 9th. I'm not saying there won't be friendly games, there will be a warm-up game, but it's going to be a very casual one.
That's him right there, you know, talking about the fact that the time is short. Hopefully, they can play maybe 1 or 2 friendlies, not a big one, of course, as he mentioned. But then, if they're able to do that, the team can be together. I mean, it's going to be the first time he will be taking them. But if they don't have opportunity at all, so the first game they will be playing together under the interim coach will be against Egypt. How tough would that be for the boys?
They don't come tougher than that.
Very tough. I don't think there's one opponent you wouldn't want to have rather than the Pharaohs of Egypt.
Why not play Sudan first?
It's going to be tough. I just hope the team can get a friendly match whereby they prepare themselves. But playing the likes of Mo Salah anytime, any day, it's going to be a very, very tough match. And we just wish them, we hope they perform. We hope they go far in the tournament. And like Cecilia said, hope to finish first and go into the next round and may finish someone with a play against someone that finishes second. But it's going to be tough. Pharaohs of Egypt, first game, it's definitely going to be tough.
Indeed. I think it's going to be a real test of character for the players, the management as well, too, because of all of the issues you've talked about. Is hardly any time for preparations. I mean, friendlies. Why are they going to do that? But the good thing is almost all the teams are facing the same situation, with the exception of the guys that went to
Egypt or
to the Arab
Cup. Sudan were even there. Sudan is in our group. They were also there. Though they were beaten and they chopped all the goals, but then they've been able to play against stronger opponents, so they know their strength. Although their coach was fired after going to I don't know why that coach was actually fired. I believe they should have left the coach. But it's also a blessing for us anyway. So the coach will also be having his very first competitive game when he gets to AFCON. So which is really,
which is well, you could call it that. So I was just hearing just before I came on set that there are going to be 7 coaches, pretty much. You know, going to the AFCON without actually leading the team's qualification. So,
so most of the
it's all good. New coaches. So, level playing ground for all
the teams, right? A great word, you would say. But I just hope that the distraction of we haven't unveiled. Okay, this is the week that the new coach is supposed to be unveiled, and today's Tuesday.
Cecilia, this doesn't really come into play at all, Cecilia. Everyone is going to the AFCON. Everyone is going to be focused on that. The unveiling, don't think it's going to have any
no distractions, so he's going to take it. I mean, he's got what it takes to take the Super Eagles to AFCON because he did it before.
I
mean, after AFCON, right?
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
I love that. That's the way it should be. That's what we think it should be.
Yeah.
So we're leaving AFCON, right?
Yes, we're leaving AFCON. We're going to talk about the biggest football competition in the world, the FIFA World Cup. And Cecilia, Infantino wants to make it. Infantino and Professor Montiel Wenger, they want to make it every 2 years, which I absolutely have a lot of time for. I don't mind that. So you're shaking your head already.
You have a lot of time for that?
Absolutely. I don't mind seeing the World Cup every 2 years. I know there are issues.
Do you want to see the Olympics every 2 years?
No, we're talking about the World Cup.
Exactly.
We're talking about the World Cup. I'd like to see the best football competition in the world every 2
You like to see it every 4 years?
No, I don't think so, because I think the beauty of the World Cup is every 4 years. Every person can give you a story of, where was I 4 years ago? This was where I watched, the last World Cup. 8 years ago, this was where I watched it. Yeah, change is constant, but they keep saying, this new generation of football fans want, football every time.
They want to,
but also want us to look at it. Maybe is it from the part of financial gains?
Of course, it is.
Yes, financially, there's more money.
There's more money, exactly. But I think it's for me, it's going to spoil the whole beauty of the World Cup, because everyone looks forward to it every 4 years, but now they're calling for every 2 years. I don't have any, so I can't stop it. But if that's what they want, that's the problem with the football clubs. But I think I prefer 4 years World Cup than 2 years.
Fair enough. So Cecilia, he's coming from a romantic angle, a sentimental angle. The World Cup is 4 years. You've grown up watching it.
You're talking like the professor right now. He said,
but there are other benefits that we can go into.
People don't want it. They're not analyzing it. They're just being emotional about it. So that's one of the emotional ones, right?
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
But then they're talking like Professor Wenger right now.
No, I'm not. I know there are other issues that have to be resolved to see a 2 year World Cup cycle, but I don't mind it at all. At least I'll give it a listen. What I don't like is the opposition to it, like straight out of the gate. They've not even listened to try and see how this is going to work, how it's going to affect the players and the clubs. They didn't even wait for all of that. Everyone just said no straight away. UEFA said no.
But we know it's going to affect the players straight away, because if they're playing qualifiers every 2 years, every 4 years is stressful for them already.
All right.
So now playing qualifiers every 2 years with the, I think it's all going to be a lot for the
what? I think some international tournaments will be cancelled, like the Nations League, for instance. I know that's will go. That's why UEFA don't want that. But the players are saying something different. Players really don't want to play more than 60 games in a year. That's what they're already doing when you have the Euros and the Nations League. Let's listen to the guys involved in this.
Starting with Lewandowski.
Good answer. Why?
We have so many games every year. We have so many tough weeks. Not only the games, but preparation to the season, preparation to the big tournament, preparation to every single games. And if you want showing something special, something different, not on the same line, we also need the break. And it's not only that if we get 2-3 weeks break in summertime, but not now every 2 years, that will be enough, because we have to think for the future. If you want to play every 2 years for World Cup, that we have to, the expectation should be that the players, the time for the playing on the high level for the football players, that's going down, that maybe for the 5, 6, 7 years, not longer, but that will be impossible for the body, for the mentality as well. And if you want to play football longer than 10 years, also you need a break. It's impossible to playing every 2 years World Cup. For sure, maybe it's possible, but to get high performance, that will be very difficult, because the players need also time to going down.
That's Lewandowski talking about the fact that players also, they need to consider players before coming up with most of these rules. But when we'll go on a break, when we come back, we'll be listening to Kylian Mbappe, also not in favor of the World Cup happening every 2 years?
I'm nobody to say if a good or bad idea, but I give my opinion, and my opinion is the World Cup is the World Cup. It's a special thing because it's something every 4 years. You know, if you want to keep that special, and you saw like I talk about it, people talk about it, about the best thing, the best competition in the world. If you have it every 2 years, it can start to be normal to play World Cup, and I want to say that's not normal. That's something amazing, something maybe you play one time in your life. And I agree with Robert when you talk about performance. We play like already 60 games in the year. You have the Hero, you have the World Cup, we have now the National League, you have so many competition, and we are happy to play, but when it's too much, it's too much. We have to recover, we have to stay relaxed. If people want to have quality in the game, if they just want to see some games to see on the TV, of course we're going to play. But if they want to see quality game, to see emotion, to see this type of thing, that's make the beauty of the football too. I think we have to respect the health of the players.
That's the main reason I'm really not in support of the World Cup every 2 years, because of the players. So if FIFA and Monsieur Wenger and all of them really want to consider the health of the players, so they need to call the players and ask them, what do you guys want? Because they are the ones that will be playing this game, and that's why money will be coming out. So do not look at the financial gains and then neglect the players who are involved, who will be playing these games. Mbappe mentioned it earlier, 60 games already in a year. That's too much.
So who's the financial gains you just mentioned now? Who's going to be enjoying the larger portion of it?
FIFA, of course.
Not FIFA.
No, sorry.
No,
come on.
The players, and of course the countries,
federations
also the federations will be enjoying that.
Yeah,
no, these players
the
already.
allocation will be done by FIFA themselves.
Of course, yeah.
So,
but what I'm saying is the federations, the players, they all stand to benefit from this financial windfall.
Yeah,
that is like it's
I mean, health is wealth, right? When you're healthy, that's when you can enjoy your wealth. If you have so much money and you're not healthy to really enjoy the money. So it's
absolutely.
So my point is, if FIFA comes up with the so-called adjustment of the international calendar that they're talking about, if they can adjust that and the players have looked at it and they love it, fine, they can agree. But if the adjustment will not favor them, then there is no point letting them play the World Cup every 2 years when they're already playing so many games. Except maybe UEFA Nations League, for instance, it's cancelled.
Cecilia and Abayomi, the fact that FIFA, all the guys that are in favor of this 2-year World Cup are talking about adjusting the international calendar, it means they know that something has to be done about the amounts of matches that the players are already playing, so they know. So it's just how they can figure it out to make it all work, right? So it's not like they've just come and said, you're going to play this game.
They should first give us a template. Let's see it.
Yeah, they're working
and then if it fits in, fine.
They're working on it.
But the template is going to be between FIFA and UEFA. Because
no, the template has to be between FIFA and the players. Yeah. The players need to be involved in this. The players, the coaches. If they're not involved in it, then there's no point having a discussion like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think I also agree with you, because we have to check, the health of the players. We saw what happened to Sergio Kun. Thank God he already had a wonderful career. With City, with Atletico Madrid, and all of a sudden he had a heart problem. We also know what happened to Eriksen at the Euros. So we do not want to continue to see these things in football. These players, they run, and everyone knows when you keep running, your heart continues, it beats fast and it keeps pumping blood. But at the same time, health is vital, because we do not want to continue to see players slumping on the field, and that would be terrible.
You guys have all made good points, and trust me, FIFA, Wenger, and all of the guys surely are taking all of these into consideration. Now, I'm not on Team FIFA on this at all. Don't think that way, but I've got to balance the story. Anyways, so that's it for the Biennial World Cup. Of course, it's still ongoing. There's no decisions are made on it yet. But as soon as that is done, you'll be the first to know on Channel Sports this morning. Let's go to England now and talk about the English Premier League. Just the one game that went down last night between the Magpies and Manchester United. It ended 1 apiece, courtesy Edinson Cavani off the bench to rescue a point for Manchester United in that game, and for a lot of people that watched the game, including me, I thought United were very lucky to get a point out of St. James's Park.
I think they were lucky. If a player like Joelinton was furious, was sad that they had a draw rather than a win, then you will know that
the
United
story of the game.
Yeah, you will know they were lucky because United didn't come to the party. They didn't turn up. We saw what St. Maximin was doing to the defense. It was just it was unleashing hell on them.
The savior again.
So they were lucky, and we all know that the new manager coming in, we knew it wasn't going to be easy for him because it's
the honeymoon is over.
The honeymoon is over because he's changing the mentality of these players. He's trying to readjust their footballing sense because now he's trying to find out a way of making them go hard press like the way Jurgen Klopp, like the way Pep does. Thomas Tuchel.
If you don't have the players to press,
exactly. If you don't have the players to press, you can't press. And we just hope United. So many of their fans want the glory days back, but you're not just going to get it straight away. You have to work hard. We saw how City were able to build with Pep. We saw how they were able to build with Liverpool. Klopp was able to build Liverpool, and the man that's in charge now for Manchester United.
But it's going to be
only there just for
6 months.
So the only reason he took the contract was because he's going to have a consultant role for 2 years. So they still need, in 6 months' time, United need another manager.
So he's really going to change anything. That's why he's saying he needs a psychologist that can maybe change
the mentality.
Of the players, because I was watching this game, I was like, was it the after party, the Christmas party or something? Because
they haven't played for 16 games.
But that's supposed to be a positive for them.
Yeah, it could be a negative as well.
It could be a negative. That's
sluggish.
They were all sluggish. Harry Maguire, as usual, was even worse than the Harry Maguire of before. I don't in this particular game. But at the end of the day, they picked up a point, and I think Newcastle deserve to win that game. What are other games for today that we'll be looking at quickly? Other games for today. Leicester City will be in action again. But before that, Ranić was talking.
Yeah, Ranić. He's had a lot to say. It's safe to say he's not a very, very impressed fella this morning. That's the professor of football, Ralph Ranić. Cecilia, there you go.
He said I did not like it at all. We're trying to get better at controlling games. Today we did not control the game apart from a very few moments. The atoll is using. It was all about energy, about physicality, and who wins the second balls. In all those areas, we're not at our best today. In the end, we got a point. That's a good thing. But the overall performance has to get better. Indeed, it has to get better.
Yeah.
That's coming from Ralph Ranić, the professor of football.
Yeah, professor in quotes.
In quotes.
Educator.
Yeah, we know the real professor, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about today's games quickly before we look at the papers.
Yeah, Crystal Palace and Norwich City will be in action. You also have Southampton and Tottenham in action. Watford and West Ham also playing today. And Leicester City and Liverpool also in action. Leicester City, I don't know who did this draw to them, surviving Man City 6-3, and Liverpool again. But the good news for Leicester City is the fact that Liverpool will be missing some big players. Not really missing. They're back in training, right? Virgil van Dijk is back in training. Thiago Alcantara is back in training. Fabinho is back in training. Curtis Jones, they're all back in training.
They have some other absences. But not
much. So if these guys are back in training, so it's a disadvantage for Leicester City.
Definitely is a disadvantage, and I hope we don't see what happened against City also, whereby they were training down. They scored 2, and all of a sudden City just increased the scoreline again. But this guy is back in training for Liverpool, certainly a big boost for them. And we know what, anytime, any day, even without these players, I think Jurgen Klopp's football style is clear. He always wants to run after the ball, after the opponent, always wants the ball to himself, and it's going to be a big game, and I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, who's winning this one? Let me put you on the spot.
I think Liverpool, because Leicester City, though Brendan Rodgers has done a good job for them so far, and he's still doing a good one, but if you look at how they play currently, I think Liverpool, anytime, and knowing that City is topping the table, and they do not want to extend that gap, which I think might extend when Salah and Mane actually go for AFCON.
Yeah, but right now they got to keep it close by getting 3 points,
and
shortening the gap back to 3.
Because they're playing Chelsea on Sunday, and that will be the last game Sadio Mane and the likes will play for them.
And you guys, Sadio Mane, I was reading that Liverpool had to make sure that they allowed them to stay for the Chelsea game. They were not even supposed to play the Chelsea game, but we know Salah and Mane anytime, any day is a big time bonus for Liverpool. So that's it.
So they're not flattening any rules because according to FIFA and CAF, they have to release players by 3rd of January. So that game is 2nd, right?
2nd, yeah.
So no rules. After that, they fly back. Papers now, quickly, I'll start with the Complete Sports. And Complete Sport here, Eguavoin, we have all it takes to go all the way at AFCON. Igalo wants Eagles Group D foes with goal and assist. The NHL also did that on Monday. Let's see if these guys can continue. They did it on Sunday. These guys can continue.
Keep it up, guys.
And Union Berlin says Coach laments Awoni's absence for AFCON. Come on, it's just for some
weeks. A couple of weeks ago, they were championing their guy going to AFCON. Now the reality is setting that. Oh no!
Oh really? It's really good. Iheanacho eyeing 21st goal of his most prolific scoring year. We'll see if he was able to get one against Liverpool today. He got 1 and 2 assists against Man City.
That was very impressive. Sporting Life is our last paper for review. Fear of COVID-19. CAF raised our squad list here to 28. We already know that already. Leicester, Liverpool, Alcantara back in training. Our Coutinho's agents traveling to London to do what? Okay, we'll find out on Sporting Life. We are ready. That's according to Kelechi Iheanacho. Okay, controversy trails Osimhen's trip to Nigeria. Nigerian completed checkups before departure to the country. Of course, the Syria is on break, so I guess he's a free man to go to wherever he wants to go.
That's it. Sports on the last one where you also have the AFCON. Osimhen hits Eagles camp tomorrow. So he'll be one of the first players to arrive.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. And this is finally a dream come true. I'll be able to do this sport this morning with you guys. And I think I'll go back
to your base.
To my base. As a happy man, always smiling whenever I see you guys. So thank you for having me, guys.
All right, thanks. Thank you. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salah.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a happy holiday.